So, have you ever asked yourself the question, why do you exist? Think about it. The fact that you are here in this world, the chances are astronomical. The fact that you were not only born on Earth, which is so far the only planet that can sustain intelligent life, you were also born on whatever year you were born at in a civilization, in a culture that has developed over time for thousands of years, not just through evolution, but as well as having survived countless theories, philosophies, and all of that. You are the sum of the choices of your ancestors. They have made choices. Someone has decided to have met your grandparents and decided to reproduce with them. And in turn, that happened for maybe 600 times until finally you exist. And for a lot of people, sure, the statistics may say that you're just a number then, but that also means that there is a reason why you exist, both genetically, scientifically, as well as spiritually. That means that even before you were born, you already have a purpose in this life. And maybe you're going to be asking, okay, Chris, if that's true, why the heck do evil people exist? Why do crimes happen? Why do morally evil people exist? The thing is, good and evil are constructs, and to be fair, is also a product. Evil should exist as much as good, and it's also very subjective. We can't really say that an animal eating their own young to sustain their energy is bad. We can't really say that a father of other species abandoning the mother as soon as they give birth is wrong. But the point here that I'm saying is that you, as a person, has a very specific role in the world. And one of the concepts that can help you find your reason for being is what you call the Ikigai. It's a Japanese concept that basically combines four checklists for you to find out what your purpose in life is. And those are basically things you're good at, things that make you happy, things that people would pay you for, and things that you love to do. Whatever that thing checks all those boxes, that is your reason for being. Let's start with number one. The first thing is what you love. Right? This is an aspect about what you really love doing. So why is this important? What you love, you probably have artist friends that love what they're doing so much, but they're not paid for it. Sometimes you raise somebody and the reward is just becoming a father or a mother. Sometimes what you love doing is just exercise, and maybe the payoff is having a better physique, but not necessarily in the financial side. You might also love eating, but it might not also be something that you need, which is interesting. So what do you really love to do? And we'll have guiding questions for that later on. And then the next thing is what the world needs. Mission, basically. What can you do that the world needs? And this is very true for freelancers, for agency owners. One thing that I know the world needs at any point in time is sales, money. Organizations at any point in time need someone who is able to generate money for a family, for a person, for an organization. And because of that, they require different skills, different needs, different infrastructure. But the point is, so long as you know what the world needs, you just have to find a way to solve a problem. So long as there's a problem, that is a need. Next, what you're good at. What are you good at? For a lot of people, they could be good at something and they have a hard time finding the right way to blend it with a mission or a need. What are you good at? You could be good at sports. That means if you're good at sports, you could probably help teams win. Let's see, entertainment, right? If you're good at sports, there's probably a job for you in the entertainment industry. There's probably a job for you for leadership roles because most sports require leadership. Or maybe concentration or practice or discipline. There are things that you're good at that generate micro skills that might be necessary in other fields. For example, in the field of digital marketing, people who love writing might have a good chance of landing jobs or clients. People who love to show up in cameras and actually make content might have a better chance to land a client. People who are creative, who are able to transform perspective into sales, might have a good chance to land clients. What you're good at, find the micro skill, and what you could be paid for. The world, guys, is not a charity. Your gift, your purpose, it's not to make you suffer. In fact, I would say that your gifts, your strengths, are supposed to be there to make sure that you are more than capable of earning money, of providing for yourself. Because again, it's a need, you're good at it, and you're solving other people's problems. And in turn has elevated, you have given value to other people's lives. And with that being said, that is the Ikigai. But that is an old version of Ikigai. New version is there's actually now a fifth step to finding your reason for being, what you can bring online. Now that the world is connected to the internet, now that we're in the fourth industrial revolution and possibly going to the fifth, we now need to be connected further, right? Even if it means, and some of you might be thinking, what if my life purpose is helping people disconnect from the internet? Then that's great, but you still need to be connected somehow, somewhere, to be able to do it. If you not personally, at least your team members will. So that is the fifth step. Now, what can you do? What would be guiding questions to find out what you love? Right? Because sometimes people have a hard time grasping how to find these micro parts of the Ikigai. So, on a piece of paper or your notebooks, here's what you have to do. All right? So, divide it into 5. Okay? Or maybe just prepare 5 pages. And on the first page, write down, what do I love to do? Just write that down. And then answer these questions. What activities make me lose track of time? Write at least 10. It could be video games, could be talking with people, could be learning, could be seminars, could be organizing, could be playing with Legos. Whatever it is, write at least 10 down. What activities make me lose track of time? All right? So that's on the what you love part. Write down at least 10. Next, answer the second question. What are the things you would do even if you weren't paid for them? Or what are things that I would do even if I weren't paid for them? So write down 10 things. What would I do even if I'm not paid to do it? I would do community work. I love doing community work. Video games, definitely. Listening to stories and people, that's also another thing. Learning, reading books. I love reading so much that I would do that without even being paid. Mentoring, guiding people, I would, but out of principle, I have to ask for money because of that. So write down 10 things. If you're done, proceed to the next question. What topics or activities am I passionate about since childhood? What are topics or activities have I been passionate about since childhood? Write down again at least 10. When I was young, I loved to write. I love Legos. I love playing games. I love computers. Technology, tinkering with technology is something that I really like to do. So write down 10 of that. Write as many as possible. And if it overlaps, that's a good sign. If what you're writing is similar to what you wrote in the last other questions, then that's even better. And the last question is, when do I feel the most fulfilled or satisfied? Examples, 10 items. All right, you can pause this video And we can move on to the next thing. What does the world need? Or your mission? What are the issues in the world that I feel most concerned about? What are issues in the world that I feel most concerned about? Write down 10. Maybe it's global warming. Maybe it's environment. Maybe it's parenting. Maybe it's religion, something spiritual related. Maybe it's fitness. Maybe it's the food that children are eating. Write down 10 things. Next question. How can I use my talents or resources? How can I use my talents or resources to help others or contribute to society? How can I use my talents or resources to help others or contribute to society? Okay? Write down 10. Maybe you're good at singing. Maybe you're very great at drawing, design. I can remember a friend of mine is really good at cooking. And what he does is he became a restaurant owner. He became the owner of 2 restaurants in Iloilo, one of the best, Tio's and Nicolette's. Great experience, by the way. And he is not the one cooking, but he is able to develop food products that are very good, worth the experience, and you won't even feel guilty, even if let go of your diet. Talents and resources. That's the guy who comes to mind. All right, write down 10. And now, the next question. What change would I like to see in my community or the world? I would like to see parents who raise children better. My personal mission, I hope that one day, I have a dream that one day, Filipino children would wake up and their parents are complete, because no longer are their fathers or their mothers flying abroad to work in a different country. What change would I like to see in my community or the world? And the last question, what causes or initiatives do I feel strongly about supporting or advancing? What causes or initiatives do I feel strongly about supporting or advancing? 10 questions. Finish? 10 questions, 10 items. Okay? Good. Now let's move on to the third section. What you're really good at, your vocation. So, here's the first question on that clean sheet of page or paper. First question is, what skills or talents do I have that others often acknowledge? And please, do not be humble here. Okay, it's okay to brag, it's okay to be proud, it's okay to be good at something. All right? And if you're having a hard time, if you're one of those people who, oh, you know what, I don't want to write this down because maybe it's an ego thing. I don't really know what I'm good at. Okay, get a friend that you trust. Ask them this question. Make them write 10 things, 10 skills or talents that you have that they often acknowledge. Okay, 10 things. Next question. What tasks do I find easy that others might find difficult? What tasks do I find easy that others find difficult? Write down 10 things. Maybe it's concentration. Maybe it's arranging things. Maybe it's fashion. Maybe it's empathy. What are tasks do you find easy that others find very difficult? 10 things. Next question. Have I received any compliments or positive feedback about certain abilities or qualities? Write down the compliments that you receive. Maybe it's, wow, you're so organized. Wow, you really understand people. Wow, you really understand me. Your cooking is amazing. You're so good at preparing what you wear. You're so organized. What compliments or positive feedback did you receive? And the last question is, what are skills that you have developed or honed over the years? And maybe dig deep on this one. Also think about skills you may not think are skills, but are normal. For example, you know how to serve someone because while growing up, maybe you're someone who has had to serve parents who have not grown up. Maybe the reason why you're the best at organizing or leading is because you were stuck in an environment where you had to carry people to survive. What skills have I developed or honed over the years? Make 10 items, not questions. Second to the last section, what can you be paid for? A profession. First question on that clean sheet of paper or the page, what are the jobs or professions that align with your skills and interests? What are jobs or professions that align with my skills or interests? After writing everything down, maybe think of something. If there's nothing, maybe it's a sign for you to create something. Maybe you like pets, taking care of pets, a pet hotel, who knows? Is there a market or demand for the skills or services I can offer? And how do you know? It's easy as searching Google. Search, check, use Answer the Public or use Google Analytics and then search, right? Keywords. Meat-based vegetables, for example, right? Meat-based vegetables. One of the most interesting niches that I have to deal with is Cooper Scoopers. I met someone from Bohol, and one of the clients that she's serving are agencies that offer Cooper Scooper services. That means they serve people with dogs, and they clean up the dog poop for the owners for a certain number of time. And these people earn a lot of money. Who knew? Enough to have an actual community with just that service or niche or agency. So very interesting. Next question. What are the potential career paths or business opportunities available to me? And don't just think about local opportunities. We now live in the age of the internet, the fourth industrial revolution. And that means that your zip code or your location, so long as you're connected to the internet, no longer matters. Because now you have access to global opportunities. So what are the potential career or business opportunities available to you? Write down 10 things. Okay? Write down 10 things. And finally, the last question. Have you or have I identified any gaps in the market that my skills or services could fill? Is there any gaps in the market that my skills or services could fill? Write down 10 things. Finding problems is the way to go. Now, when you're done on a clean sheet of paper, it's time for you to do the fifth thing. What you can bring online. And just like that, you have to make a list of 10 things. So the first question is, what unique skill or service can you offer through digital platforms? Digital platforms like YouTube, websites, forums, social media, whatever. Okay? Write down 10 things. Next question. How can I leverage the internet or social media to reach a broader audience? How can I leverage the internet or social media to reach a broader audience? Maybe finally making your own brand. Maybe you have to make your own product. Maybe a show, a podcast. Maybe start content marketing. I don't know. Write 10 ways for you to do that. Next question. Are there online communities or networks where I can contribute and be valued? Or where can I contribute so I can give value with online communities? Right? So write down 10. Maybe it's a Facebook group and then we can go back, right? Industry, software, or strategy. Maybe in those areas you can actually contribute. And finally, the last question is, what digital formats like blogging, video content, online courses, or e-commerce align with my skills or interests? So that's how you find your Ikigai. Now, the next step is basically very simple. All you have to do is list down all things that basically check all 5 things. And that's your Ikigai. So that being said, Congratulations for making it this far. I'm very excited to see what you've made in our community.